Welcome back into Mining Stock Daily, everybody. Trevor Hall here with another corporate update from some important news out of Kenorland Minerals. They trade on the Venture Exchange with KLD and also on the OTCQX with KLDCF. Happy to welcome in once again Zach Flood of the company. Zach, gold exploration really is the big name of the game for Kenorland Minerals, and you guys went out and proved once again you're really good at it. You announced a new discovery on your Chebistuan project in the Abitibi greenstone belt this morning. Let's talk about it. It's pretty interesting little system you found here. Listen, it's not like the highest grade that anybody's ever found, but it's important because it really opens up the book here.
Yeah, I think first of all, it's a maiden drill program. We drilled just over 2,000 meters, so that's virtually nothing into a brand new system. We did hit a cyanide hosted gold system. Those are not totally unique, but the ones that are out there have shown some big size, and there's also some with much higher grade as well. The first intercept was over 150 meters of gold mineralization in this intrusion, 0.4 grams per ton, consistently mineralized across that. So the next steps is really kind of, I think it would be to step out and obviously drill more and look for higher grade zones within that, which I think is totally possible to find. So early days, we're super excited about it. We started exploration out here in 2020, covering about 160,000 hectares of ground, just doing systematic till sampling as we've done elsewhere in Quebec and Ontario. And that went from 2020 regional survey to 2021 detailed till survey to 2022. We did a lot of detailed geophysics and defined some drill targets, and then finally put the holes into it in Q1 this year. And voila, there you go. There's another gold system. So we're pretty pumped.
Just to remind everybody, this project is an exploration agreement with Newmont, which is interesting. Is Newmont incredibly active in the Abitibi?
No, but they are in Quebec with Eleanor, obviously, up in James Bay. You don't really see them doing a lot of exploration in general in North America. I'd say, at least on the grassroots side. So this is sort of unique for them as well. But we've got a bit of a history. Some of the co-founders had worked with Newmont for a long time. We've had relationships on the industry side for many years, and they've watched what we were doing in Quebec when we made the discovery with Sumitomo, and this was another concept exactly like that, and just like a lot of the other projects in our portfolio as well. And I think that fits a major mining company's scope when it comes to exploration. Is you got to go big, and you got to do it systematically, and large scale surveys, and you got to be in good geology that has proven endowment too. So these projects all check those boxes, and I think that's what attracted them into it.
Zach, pure grassroots discovery, greenfields, really fascinating stuff. You don't see much of this anymore, specifically in the gold space, anywhere in the world, let alone Canada, specifically in the Abitibi. How is it that this project hadn't seen any early exploration work? What is the history of Chebistuan? If maybe there's very little history until now.
No, it's a great question. This goes back to first principles. This is our exploration strategy, is to look for big gaps in exploration maturity. So we're looking for areas in terrains that have, again, proven gold endowment, really good geology, highly prospective, but just have there's large areas within those terrains that have been lesser explored, maybe overlooked is not the best way to put it, but because I'm sure, there has been a lot of prospecting out here, smaller surveys, patchworks of exploration here and there. But again, what we bring to the table, our approach is to, consolidate big areas through ideally staking and a few property deals to kind of clean it up and end up with a big coherent land package covering, a huge amount of prospective geology, and then systematically, systematically sampling, in this case, glacial till, with geochemical surveys over huge areas. And that, I think if there's a big gold system out there, you can pick it up on those big regional surveys. And the great thing about it is you're kind of screening all the other ground. If there isn't a gold system, it's not going to show up in that data set. And if there is a big gold system, you think you're going to see it in that data set. We proved that in the Frotet Evans Belt with the discovery of Renault. And so we're just doing the same thing here. And sure enough, we saw enough, enough anomalism in that first pass survey to give us confidence to go back and do the infill sampling and geophysics, and then eventually diamond drilling. And it's as simple as that, really. I mean, we don't really overthink it, but there has been work done up here. There's definitely, Chapet is just out to the east of us. That's an old gold mine and an old gold camp. And then way out to the west, you have Fenelon and Detour.
Yeah.
Along that big Sunday Lake Detour deformation zone that crosses the northern Abitibi. So we know from a kind of high level that this is has the right structural or architectural elements, to produce a gold system. And this is a good way to go and find it. It's just to do the geochemical sampling.
Yeah. A first pass drill program for Greenfield's project is it's always a risky thing to do, no matter who you are, right? Tell us about this risk. I mean, you mentioned, was it 5 or 7 holes? Seven holes. Not all of them hit. You mentioned, 2 of them had important mineralization here, but obviously it proves the thesis. I mean, I guess this risk profile of Greenfield's exploration, you de-risk it by your business strategy through funding these things through your joint ventures. It's really important to notice that, because not everybody can do that, especially in this market where if you're going out there raising money and drilling, if you miss, man, the market is not favorable to you. It's hardly favorable when you hit. So,
yeah.
I mean, talk about that strength within your business model, specifically this time in with the market being very unforgiving.
Yeah, like you only have so many shots you can take in a small junior exploration company before you've, blown up the share structure and you've lost all confidence in your investors. So it is super high risk, and that's why we employ the project generation model, and we're very disciplined in that. I have complete faith this is the way to go when it comes to grassroots exploration, unless you have a super low cost of capital like Robert Friedland, who can raise money at $1 billion valuation. You could take shots like this all day, but most companies out there, smaller market cap, this took us just over $3 million to kind of test this idea. And we've got a stack of other projects, 10, 11 projects with a similar kind of scope to get to first drill pass, and some even more expensive. So, we're looking at, I think by the end of this year, we'll have spent about 100 million, and a good chunk of that is on the advanced exploration at Renault, but still we're probably looking upwards of, 50 million plus dollars, 50, 60, maybe $70 million in really early stage exploration that we've done since we started the company. And we're just now getting to the point where, the second, third year in these projects where we're starting to, actually drill test targets that we've developed from the exploration leading up to that. But that's, again, tens of millions of dollars just to get to the point to drill test, a few targets on various projects. So it's a very expensive game, very high risk. Even this target, we were, it wasn't super obvious. It took, it actually was a follow-up heavy mineral concentrate sampling program where we counted gold grains, and it was, one sample that had 200 grains in it, and a lot of those pristine grains. That was enough to give us confidence that, hey, there's a gold system here. The initial fine fraction survey was pretty spotty. We're in really complex surficial environments. So, it's not something I would have wanted to spend our own money on testing. Let's just say that. So it is really great to have strong partners who are willing to spend the money to go chase these things, and Kenorland's going to see plenty of upside if a big discovery is made. 20 or 30% resource or feasibility stage. I think that there's plenty of upside for Kenorland and its shareholders through this model, and just way less risk. There's hardly any downside, really.
Zach, what's next for Chebistuan? I'm sure you're having ongoing conversations with Newmont after 7 holes. What else do we expect out of this project?
Yeah, that's it. It's just going to be kind of discussing with them. We just had a technical committee meeting. They've got their annual meetings and budgets to sort out. This project's going to fall in line with a number of other opportunities they have globally. So, I would be surprised if they were to walk after this. I mean, this was literally just barely scratching the surface, small maiden drill program. We found a new gold system in the Abitibi. So, I would say the chances are pretty high that we'll see another additional and more significant drill program probably next winter. And in the meantime, we've got lots else on the go. We're drilling up in Alaska right now, Antofagasta. We're prepping for a summer drill program on the Sumitomo. We've been doing target definition work, leading up the drill targets at Hunter, Jacoby, and O'Sullivan, all in the Abitibi. We've got other projects that are advancing in Ontario and Tova as well. So it's nonstop. Stop them up, and as the projects in the pipeline mature, we will see more maiden drill programs like this on brand new target areas, and I'm fairly confident that we'll see more discoveries being made as well.
Busy summer for Kenorland Minerals. Zach, thanks for this update. Always a pleasure to chat with you, and especially when a bunch of good news continues to hit Kenorland. So job well done, my friend. Well, that's your update from Kenorland Minerals, everybody. Again, trading on the Venture Exchange with KLD, and also on the OTCQX with KLDCF.